Hi, so let's talk about SAMUS and some of the related processes for the 2022 summer camp, specifically for our boost sites. As you probably know, SAMUS is a cloud-based information system. All you really need is a device with internet access and a browser you're comfortable with. We recommend Google Chrome, but it will work with anything, including Safari or even on a mobile device. Um, how do you get started? You need user accounts for yourself or your employees, and the new user account request form can be found on the Kids Hub Alliance website at that URL. You can also email us at samus@coj.net. We'd be happy to send you the blank form. It's a PDF, and you can often get it from your contract managers as well. Once we receive that, we can set up an account. This generally happens after your contract has been finalized. You'll need also to reactivate uh, employees returning from last summer. If someone hasn't logged in about 120 days, that's going to be deactivated, so that will need reactivation. Please specify the name of the summer camp they'll be working at. Uh, there are two general roles in the system. The data manager role. This is the person that records attendance, creates demographic records, and runs some reports. Then your finance manager, who will create and or submit budgets and reimbursements. The finance manager is can be one person doing both the creator role and the submitter role. We can have two people doing that, where one creates the budget or reimbursement and then sends it to the submitter for review, and then that person, the submitter, actually sends it to KHA. So those are the types of things you'll specify on the new user request form as to which role or both that your employees will need. You will almost certainly want to schedule a training through our website at that URL. And This year we have a new system version. SAMUS 3.0 is how we refer to it. And it's considerably different than what you may have seen last year. Now, if you have an after school program and you have someone to do summer camp who's also currently doing your after school program, they still may want to complete one of our trainings, specifically the one that's going to show an overview of the summer camp procedures. There have been fundamental changes to attendance and payments, so there will be some things they need to see. Um, you can also email us again at samus@coj.net if you have questions about training. And by the way, that FERPA training, that's kind of a once in a lifetime. Just keep the certificate that you get from the U.S. Department of Education. And I think that that will be a requirement to submit each year. And if someone needs to take it the first time, they can do so through our website as well, linked to the collaboration site. So, data systems collection and information. We're going to have some of the things will be the same. Participant names with basic demographic data will be required for your summer camps and boost. So all the kids coming from all the feeder schools will be on the hub site on your program page, and there you will record the units of service attendance. Uh, DCPS student ID is a requirement. We'll go over that in some detail in the trainings as well. SAMUS sign-in sheets, again, will be used this year. You'll need to know how to both generate those and how to put those back into the system as part of your deliverables. Financial submissions, of course, will include a budget and reimbursements. And the big difference is many, if not most, of the deliverables will be attached to the reimbursement. In the past, they have gone into the document repository. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you fully understand what's expected there. And then advances will be upon request, and I believe that will be covered by the finance team. So SAMUS 3.0, this is the landing page of what it looks like, and the picture changes every time you log in. But what has really changed? Well, to begin with, the SAMUS button will be deactivated, and when you get logged in through the portal, you'll actually go to delivery to record attendance, for example, or create a demographic record. You'll go to the fiscal side to do your budgets and reimbursements. Um, the business intelligence tool will be used to some degree for at least one type of reporting. To quickly go through some of the changes, there's a new user interface. It looks very different, and virtually everyone needs to have some degree of training to learn how to use it quickly. The navigation is different. We cover that in the training, obviously. Attendance rules and payments rules will be different this year. Reports are found in a different area. And then you'll need to know how to submit and attach those deliverables because that has changed. Things that are going to be the same, the sign-in sheets, the user service module is still where attendance is recorded. Participant demographic records are essentially the same. The user interface looks a little different, but it's the same data being collected. Again, student ID requirements are the same as they were last year. That's the DCP student ID. And the general organization of the program pages as an agency with a program for a fiscal year has not changed. Member account rules are the same. You have to submit that request for auditing purposes so that we can give an account to a person through your authorization. And then for anyone working on the data side where the PII will be held, the personal identification of students. Now, one of the big changes will be Boost Summer Camp attendance. If a participant shows up and signs in Monday through Thursday, they're going to get a 0.5. If they sign in on a Friday, they'll get a 1.0. They don't necessarily need to stay 3 hours or 3 minutes. If they show up, that's what they get. The 0.5 reflects how the academic portion of the day is distinct and separate from the enrichment side. And so you're actually recording a 0.5 or 0.5 for the enrichment side. Nothing changed if they're absent, it's a 0.0. But this is a fundamental change, and I emphasize Monday through Thursday, 0.5, 1.0 on Fridays. So that needs to be done so that your attendance units of service are recorded correctly. How do you determine payment amounts for a monthly attendance? This is radically different, really, but to your advantage. There's going to be two things you need, a Boost payment calculation spreadsheet and a unit of service activity report, which is a report that you're probably familiar with from summer camps in the past. We'll go over the real details in training, but to give you a general overview of the basic process, to make it work, you have to record units of service attendance per day for each participant. At the end of the month, you run the activity report and you take the total value dollar amount from the activity report and you plug that into the spreadsheet in a specific cell that will show you where that's done at. The calculation spreadsheet will compare the amount you entered from your report and compare it against the 80% minimum dollar value for the month for your type of program. You will get paid the larger of the two sums. And that spreadsheet will tell you what that amount will be, and then you'll take that and put that in your reimbursement request. Remember, you'll have to attach the report that I'm referring to here and the spreadsheet itself, or at least a copy of it, for the first month in your reimbursement on the units of service line item. These files will be labeled with deliverable to monthly attendance in the file name, and you'll get further instructions on that from the contract management team. Now, I want to emphasize you'll want to use the spreadsheet, the calculator spreadsheet, the same copy for both June and July because it draws down your amounts, and I'll show you what I mean by that. This is an example of that spreadsheet. You'll put your agency name, your site location, your hub site up at the top. Do not do a spreadsheet for each of your feeder schools, just the hub where that reflects the name on the SAMHSA program page. You'll notice there's a row with June elementary or June middle. Further down, there's July elementary, July middle. So you just identify whether you have an elementary or middle school program for the right month, and then you will focus on the blue cells over on the right. And what's happening before that, you have a column that shows the number of open days, the number of contracted students, the summer rate, and it multiplies those factors together and shows you a value of 100% of attendance. For June elementary, 100% attendance is $43,982.40. And then it calculates 80% of that maximum 100% attendance. Here you see the value for that in column G for June elementary. So this report is going to tell you what you can put as a request on the reimbursement. And again, what you do is you run that activities report in SAMUS after you've completed all of the attendance for the month, in this case of June. And whatever the report has for the total dollar amount, you put it in the blue cell, in the appropriate blue cell. If you're elementary June, you see I have $40,840.80 in this example. Now the spreadsheet will compare the value in the blue cell with the amount in the 80% minimum cell. And it will tell you to request the larger of the two amounts. So in this case, $40,840.80. Now, if you get a copy of this PowerPoint, you're going to see a little breakdown of that to help you walk through there. I'm not going to say it all again, but notice that it has a row down here, amount possible left for July for elementary or middle. And that helps you not to over request or make a mistake in accounting terms. The month of July comes along, you run the activity report again after all attendance is completed. And in this case, that report had $33,660. So I plugged that in to the blue cell in column H for July for elementary in this example. And it does the comparison. And it turns out in this case that the pay value, the amount from the report, is less than the minimum amount shown here at $37,699.20. So the calculation is going to tell me that I can actually request the minimum amount. So that's how it works in your benefit. You didn't quite have enough attendance to cover that minimum amount, you still get paid for it anyway. So this is a very beneficial model for our providers. We'll go into greater detail in the trainings, but that's the general way that it works. Now, I'd like to summarize everything again. For summer camps, before you get started, you want to identify your data and finance managers. Make sure you've decided who's going to do that. You'll need to request new SAMUS member accounts or reactivate previous accounts for those managers. You'll schedule SAMUS and/or FERPA trainings as needed. Remember, because we have a new version of SAMUS, it's safe to say everyone's going to need some degree of training. Reactivate participants returning from last year and create demographic records for new participants. Use the same copy of the Boost Summer 2022 payment calculation spreadsheet for both June and July reimbursements. Make sure you submit deliverables on the reimbursement, not in the document repository. We'll cover it in training. Print your sign-in sheets before the first day of camp and have a plan to scan and complete those sign-in sheets and put those back into SAMUS. The way that the contract managers are going to want to see those is one PDF file for the entire month. It will be labeled deliverable to, and so you'll have two files for the camp, one for June and one for July. For technical questions, you can contact us at samus@coj.net. I'd like you to copy your contract manager anytime you email us. You can always call us at 255-4410. Sometimes we may be on the other line, and if you get voicemail, please leave a message. We can return your call. But I think in a lot of ways, email is probably the best way to get information to us. Sometimes if you describe the issue you need help with, we can take care of it and reply back through email and have resolved it without the need to take the time to make the phone call. So this covers everything for SAMUS. We look forward to supporting you in 2022. Hope you have a great camp. Thank you.